Emery teacher, and this is my course overview. So, for our overview, I'm going to go over my basic expectations that I have for all of my classes. I will go over IB1 and the 5 steps that those entail. I'll also go over our novel discussion, which is IB2, and finally I will go over writing. And each section I will talk about my goals and what we do for homework. So, my basic expectations are, I have an expectation for students to be in class, be on time, and be ready to learn. So this means that they are prepared for class and they have their homework completed. If their homework isn't completed or it's only partially completed, I will reach out to you through text message or some other means. If you ever want to or need to contact me, please send me an email at knsemery@gmail.com. I check my work email multiple times a day, and I will be happy to give you any updates or any other information that you need. So, for homework, here we go. I have it separated between in-person and online. In person, it's pretty easy, pretty normal. When students come into class, I will collect their homework at the beginning of class. And we'll check it either together or I will check it individually. And online, students should email me their homework at that same email, knsemery@gmail.com. And on their homework, when they're submitting it by email, it is very important for them to include their name and their class name. Otherwise, it is very difficult for me to figure out which assignment is from which student, and it's hard for me to give them credit, and I will not be able to, so it will count as a 0. So an IB1 is meant to give background knowledge on the novels that we're reading, expand upon the students' prior knowledge, and give them an opportunity to apply and showcase that knowledge. And so we have a 5-step process that we go through. We've currently completed step 1, which is background information, where we talked about the world map and history of war, World War II in this case. And then this week we have been working on multimedia studies. And so that means taking in information from different kinds of sources, maybe video, maybe text, and synthesizing that information with the information that we already have and with the book itself. After that, next week, we will be working on critical thinking questions. And so that's taking that information and using that information to ask questions about the theme of the novel, about larger issues, being able to make personal connections to things outside of the text. After that, we will move on to a research and presentation segment. And so for the 4th week, they will choose their research topic and begin researching. And finally, they will be able to showcase their knowledge in a final presentation. And my goals for IB1 are for students to be able to apply their prior knowledge to class discussion, for students to be able to use the knowledge presented in class to better understand the novel, and finally, students should be able to develop their research and presentation skills with their final research presentation. For homework in IB1, there is no regular homework, not something that happens every week, but I will occasionally assign questions based off of the material that we covered in class, and they will generally be a sort of reflection question. When this happens, I will make it very clear to students, and if you'd like, I can send you an email reminder as well. In IB2, we will be discussing the novel itself. So students will take a review test to judge and gauge their comprehension of the reading, and then I will give a short lecture and ask discussion questions. So most of our notes, our in-class notes, will be from that lecture and for answering those discussion questions. I'll have them write it down, and then we'll talk about it together. My goals for IB2 are for students to be able to showcase their reading comprehension by completing their novel review test and passing, and then for them to be able to demonstrate deeper understanding of the content in the novel by being able to answer the discussion questions. And so in this case, the homework consists of the reading, the comprehension questions in the handbook, a summary, and then a review of the test, the corrections of the review test. And it is very, very important in this class for students to complete their homework. If they are unable to complete the readings or their questions, not only will they do poorly on the novel review test, but they won't be able to participate in class, and so they'll lose out on class participation. Finally, I have our information for writing class. So every 2 weeks, students will be assigned an essay on the assigned topic. If students are taking writing online, they will submit their essays to my email, which is knsemery@gmail.com. If students are taking writing in person, they will hand in their essay at the beginning of class, and I should have their essays graded by their next writing class. They are able to submit either handwritten or typed essays. I'm okay with either, whatever is easier for them. But if they do write a handwritten essay, it does need to be legible. It needs to be written so that I can read it. And after I take their test, I grade their test, I will give it back, and they will be tasked with rewriting their essay and making corrections based on the feedback I gave them. I have 3 goals for writing class. The first goal is that students will be able to form paragraphs with introduction sentences, body sentences, and conclusion sentences. And my second goal, students will be able to write an essay including an introductory paragraph, body paragraphs, and conclusion paragraphs. So it's kind of building up, right? Sentences, paragraphs. And finally, students will be able to produce 6 essays, including a descriptive essay, an expository essay, a narrative essay, and a persuasive essay. And finally, I have my requirements for the essays. Every essay should include 4 paragraphs, and each essay should have an introduction, 2 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And each paragraph should have a minimum of 5 sentences. So I will go over examples of different paragraphs and different kinds of essays in class, but if you would like a sample essay, or if the students would like a sample essay, I'm happy to have one sent to you. Please just let me know. Okay, thank you very much. That is